Welcome to Evolve, where we have fearless, unfiltered, unapologetic conversation with host Chanel Spencer, author, speaker, and CEO of Maximum Evolution. Are you ready? I hope you're ready.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of Evolve, where we have fearless, unfiltered, and unapologetic conversation, as you already know. So, as you know now, we are having a special series for the Evolution Effect, which is a book anthology project where we have 20 authors talking about how we have broken patterns, how we have stepped into our greatness, and just being amazing in this world. And I'm super excited for one of our special guests and author. Let me tell you, she is amazing. I love her. Like, she does not play when it comes down to business and getting things done and executed. I'll tell you that much. Trust me, I know. So she is amazing. And her name is Lindsay Vertner. Say hello to the beautiful people.
Hello, beautiful people.
Yes, welcome back. Yes.
Thank you for having me. I just love being on your show.
So just a little bit about Lindsay. She is an award-winning peak potential strategist, transformational speaker, and two-time Amazon #1 best-selling author. Yes, she's the founder of Lindsay Vertner LLC, and she's devoted to teaching millennial moms and startup entrepreneurs how to master their mindset. Her mission is to teach women around the world how to create their first life full of purpose, fulfillment, and happiness. And Lindsay is the co-founder of the Unleashed Woman, a nonprofit organization that uplifts women of all backgrounds through national empowerment and networking events. Yes, amazing. That's so amazing. Oh my goodness. How does it feel to be just such a rock star, you know?
Well, hey, I am only human like everyone else. So Everybody has the capacity to be a rock star.
You absolutely right. You absolutely are right. So let's get into your chapter. So what made you title your chapter The Evolution of Pain?
Yeah, so the book is called, we know, The Evolution Effect, right? And when we think about pain, we think about all the negative sides of pain. However, greatness can happen whenever we allow our pain to evolve. And so that's what I wanted to focus on, is that, you may be going through pain or you may be having struggles and obstacles, but if you give your pain permission to evolve, it can turn into a very powerful purpose.
Wonderfully and perfectly said. You're absolutely right. There's a lot of things that we experience in life, and sometimes it can kind of hold us back to who we could potentially be, the rock star in us, right? It can literally hold us down emotionally, mentally, physically too. So you're absolutely right in the evolution of pain and understanding that, yes, we have gone through certain things, hurt, heartbreaks, all that good stuff. But it's ultimately our decision to say, hey, I can evolve from this, and what can I learn from this, and how can I be better? You're absolutely right. So tell us a little bit about your chapter.
Yeah, so in my chapter, I talk about first, what is evolution, right? And that is whenever something undergoes a gradual process to become better. So that's why it's called the evolution of pain, because when we give it that permission to evolve, we become better. And in that, I talk about the steps that you can take so that you can begin evolving your pain and stepping into your greatness and breaking those patterns that we find ourselves cycling through that are causing us to stay stuck in negativity or to stay stuck in a rut, so to speak.
Right. Wow. Didn't I tell you she's amazing? She's amazing. I told you. So in your chapter, you said, well, I could have lost my hearing and eyesight and been paralyzed. Yes, I couldn't see, but that was only because I wear glasses and those are broken in the rack. I can't. Or even worse, my family could have been planning a funeral instead of planning wheelchair arrangements. Wow. I was grateful for what was not at that moment. I had a choice to become a victim to my circumstances or to become a victor over my obstacles. That is listen, you need to make that a quote. I need you to make a graphic. That is amazing. To become a victim to my circumstances or to become a victor over my obstacles. Oh my, powerful. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, so that very first step in allowing your pain to evolve is being grateful, even amongst the negativity, even amongst the pain and the trauma and all of those things. Because sometimes it's like, how can I be grateful whenever I'm in so much hurt right now? But you have to be grateful for not only what is, but also what was not. Because here's the thing, it could always be worse. No matter what situation you find yourself in, it could always be worse. There are 50,000 people 10 steps behind you praying just to get to your level that you're already at. Even though it seems like a tornado storm to you, you have to remember that it could always be worse. So in that quote I'm talking about, yes, I was brain dead and paralyzed. However, at least I wasn't paralyzed and blind. At least I wasn't paralyzed and deaf. Like, at least my family was planning wheelchair arrangements instead of a funeral arrangement. So I was grateful for what things weren't.
Right.
So that I could focus on moving forward for what I wanted to become.
Yeah. All I have to say is because like, oh my goodness, that is like so powerful, and so many don't even understand that concept. Like, we get so engulfed in what is happening in the moment, and we become immersed in the negative feelings that we have because of what we're currently dealing with, or our situations, or what has happened to us, right? So it's amazing for you to find in that situation, which you need to expand on that situation, because maybe some people don't know what happened to you, right? But to be in that and to find the gratitude, because that literally frees up the space in you to heal faster, to figure out a plan on what it is that you want to do next for your life, so that you can get back to who you know you are and what you know you're capable of. So that's so amazing that you shared that, and you are like a 1000% right in regards to having gratitude, even in the misery, even in the challenge that you're facing. Because like you said, there are some people that are having it 50 times worse, and or there's always an opportunity for you to learn where you need to make changes, and or for you to be prepared for your next chapter in your life. So you just never know. Everything happens for a reason. I am a firm believer in that, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what happened to you in regards to you not being paralyzed.
Yeah, so in May 2007, my life was literally flipped upside down. One minute I am driving down the highway, the next minute I'm waking up and I have no clue where I'm at. I can't see, I can't talk, I can't move, and I legit thought that I was kidnapped and paralyzed somewhere, like tied up waiting for the slaughter, you know? I watch too many movies. So I started to panic because it's pitch black. I can't see. I can't do anything. And I actually pass out that I was exhausting myself so much. And then the next day that I wake up, I think like, man, that was a horrible nightmare. It felt so real. But then I slowly realized that I still didn't know where I was. I still couldn't move. I still couldn't see, and I still couldn't talk. And before I could panic that time, someone walked up to me and filled me in on what had occurred on May 13th, 2007. So the car that I was driving, I was in a wreck, right? And it flipped multiple times, like it was doing backflips before going off the opposite side of the highway and literally landing upside down. I was pronounced brain dead on the scene. I was flown by helicopter to a trauma hospital where they pronounced me brain dead again upon arrival. But God was clearly looking out. There was purpose in my pain. I didn't realize it yet, but there was purpose in my pain, because despite pronouncing me brain dead, the surgeons decided to do emergency surgeries anyway. So that whole rest of the day I was undergoing surgeries. They didn't expect me to make it through the night. I was on life support, and that's what I woke up to. A week prior, my life had changed. I had been out for
Wow.
a week. I wake up to being told that I was brain dead. And on top of all of the injuries I sustained, I was also paralyzed.
Oh my goodness. Like, could you, like, first of all, let's just take a moment to understand what happened, right? Because that's a lot to take in. Like, you're like,
Yeah.
what happened? You know what I mean? Like, what? And to sit in where you currently are. Like, you're releasing a book. You're a 2-time best-selling author. You literally are a transformational speaker. And let me tell you, her website is flawless. Let me tell you something. I love her website. Like, the second she sent it to me, I was like, what? This is beautiful. Like, oh my goodness. You know what I mean? And so to go from like a near-death experience to now transforming your life and literally stepping into your greatness, because you're literally the definition of this book. Like, you're the epitome of the
Oh,
concept of
thank
this book,
you.
right? Like, what was that journey? Like, did you have moments where you were like, I don't want to be bothered, like, it is what it is? Or were you forever like, yay, this is great, I'm going, like, you know what I mean? What were your emotions? Because I couldn't even imagine how I would feel. What, like, you know what I mean? Because like yes, like, what were your
Mhm,
feelings? Like, what
mhm.
was your journey? You know?
Yeah. So this is why it's important to, of course, give yourself permission to feel all of the emotions that you need to feel, but actively and intentionally stepping out of that victim mode. Because this is what I was thinking. I could sit here and I could cry all day, every day, but that's not going to change what has already occurred.
Right.
So, what is the point in wasting the energy to do that? Is it upsetting? Yes. Is it sad? Am I in pain? Yes, and yes, and yes. All of those yeses. However, I know what I want for my future, and being in this victim mode is not going to get me there. So,
Yeah.
what do I need to do so that I can, one, walk again? I'm already alive, so that's the hardest part.
Mhm.
They didn't think I was going to make it, and I'm still here. I'm thinking and I'm understanding what people are saying to me. So, what can I do next to get me to where I want to be? And so that was that first being grateful. And then it was setting those intentions of what I wanted, which was to walk again, because it was physically painful and emotionally painful, because a lot of things came up. Like, people were calling me Miracle Woman and a walking miracle. And that's a lot of pressure to live up to,
Right.
you know? And I didn't feel good enough to be that person. And so not only was I going through this physical recovery, but I also had this emotional recovery of not feeling good enough. And that's when I realized that so many other people struggled with some of those same beliefs, but they just showed up in their lives differently. Maybe they had abusive parents or are in an abusive relationship, or, just never had the support that they needed. And so that's when I realized, as I was overcoming my situation, that I could use that to help other people overcome their obstacles. And so I had to be very intentional about that, and put the action behind that mindset as well.
Oh man. Like, you're crossing every T and dotting every I. Like, you are absolutely right. Like, there are so many circumstances that people go through, and some people never have this moment. They never have that moment, and
Mhm.
to say, like, wow, like, this happened to me. Now what can I do to be better, want more for my life? Like, some people are like 60, 100 years old, like,
Yeah.
still miserable from what happened to them in 1942. Like, you know what I mean? So,
Right,
like,
right.
it's so powerful for us to take our power back and understand that we have the power to change the dynamic of our lives. Like, yes, things happen to us, but ultimately it doesn't have to define who we are and who we could potentially be. You know what I mean? And that's like, oh,
Mhm.
that's what I have to say. You. And then you said, be mindful of the thoughts you hold true, and of the words you speak. Don't let the fear of the unknown stop you from taking action towards the victory that is waiting for you. Don't let your current pain hold you hostage in victim mode, and give your pain permission to evolve, because the evolution of our pain always ends with purpose. And that's another quote. Listen, you gave me a whole new idea for graphics. Like, coming soon. Go ahead. Like, for order office. Yes. Continue. Can you expand on that? Because some might not even know what that means, you know?
Yes. So just as I was saying, when you allow your pain to evolve, it can turn into purpose, but only if you give it permission. Because whenever we stay in victim mode, we give up our power for change. Because when we are playing the victim, we're essentially saying that some external source or some external person has control over our situation and we can't do anything about it. And so first you have to remove yourself from that victim mode. And part of that are some of the things that I said about being grateful, being intentional, and then putting the action behind what you want for your life so that you can step into your greatness, right? And whenever you do that and find the lesson in the pain that you're going through, when you find the message in your mess, that's whenever it becomes powerful. And that's what's really going to make an impact. And that's likely part of your purpose. There's a high chance that the pain that you're going through is part of your higher purpose, but nobody's going to hand it to you on a silver platter. You have to be an active and willing participant in seeking out what your purpose is. Just like when you watch a treasure hunt movie or, you know, where they're robbing the bank or something. Well, listen, do it legally, okay? But they have to go through all of these different things to get to the treasure or to get to the gold or to get to the money. They have to slay dragons. They have to swim through lava. Like, it's not an easy process to get to that treasured jewel that they're trying to reach. And so you have to think of your life as the same way. Your purpose is a treasure, and you're going to go through some things to get to it. But once you get to it, oh, it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, you listen, you are absolutely right. It's freeing. You just feel like sometimes, you know, we're our own worst critics and we hold ourselves to such high expectations. I'm talking about myself. Right? And we don't realize how far, even though we're not where we want to be, we still have come so far. And like, you're absolutely right. Like, when you get to certain levels or you achieve certain things or you just have a level of peace and freedom in it just feels like it's euphoric. You know what I mean? To be free of the pain that you may feel or whatever you suffered or whatever you have gone through, like, to be like alleviated and released from all of that. It just feels like you were climbing up a mountain with a 100-pound anchor and it's finally released. You know, can you imagine how alleviating that feels? You know what I mean? Right. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So if you listen, you need to get your copy right now and you need to read this chapter because it is powerful, like powerful. And she literally like the way she just wrote the way she wrote the chapter, the way it flowed, like I was just like, yeah. Amen for Lindsay, just saying. So what's next for you?
Awesome. So listen, awesome is my favorite word. Okay. Take a shot every time you hear me say awesome. I just be throwing it out there, putting it out. Awesome. So what I have coming up is actually the First Class Life anthology series. So I often talk about living your first class life, and that's not about how much money you have. It's about the quality of life that you're creating for yourself, you know, being intentional about walking in your purpose and being fulfilled and genuine happiness in your life. And so the other month I released First Class Life, 10 Key Factors to Create a Life Full of Purpose, Fulfillment, and Happiness, which is where I go through all of the skills and the tools that you want to implement to live a first class life. And so next month becomes First Class Life, the anthology series where I have a group of women sharing their stories about how they overcome their obstacles to create their first class life. And I will start enrollment for First Class Life Volume 2. So for all of you that have your own story to share, it's an awesome, awesome, awesome program. It includes coaching and a luxury retreat because I like to do it big, right?
I cannot wait till she announces where that luxury retreat is. Let me tell you something. Continue.
Yes. I am solidifying that info now. And I'm so excited because it's a very, very powerful program. We literally spend a year together, and then it also results in being a part of a book that is going to impact not only the US, but the entire world and touch a lot of lives. So that's what I have coming up. And you can find out all more about me at lindsayvertner.com. That's where you can find me across all social media on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Look me up, Lindsay Vertner. I love it. I love new friends. Definitely check out my First Class Life program because everybody has a story to tell. Okay. Yes. And I want you to walk in your purpose and do it first class fly, honey.
Yes. First class fly. I love that. So do you have any final words for the audience?
Yes. So just remember, there is the same amount of energy that it takes to be miserable versus being happy. So it's all about where you want to spend your energy. Because either way, you're using it up. It's just how are you using it up? Because it takes the same amount of energy to be miserable as it does to be happy. So choose wisely, choose happiness. Remember, be grateful for what is and what is not. Be intentional for what you want for your life and what you don't want for your life. And then take action to make that your reality because your thoughts are very powerful. The end.
Yes. Listen right now. Is exactly what she said. She's not lying at all. And what we all have to understand is that we have the power to be who we want to be. Like that's what we all need to understand. It's literally within us. We just have to tap into it and take off like Superwoman, Wonder Woman, Superman, and understand that we can take the world. Yes, we're going to have challenges. Yes, we're going to have things that come in our way, adversities and things that we don't anticipate. But it's all about how we get back up and how we literally show up every single day, no matter what we are going through, because that just literally helps to open doors and move you forward into your next step. So I love you, girl.
I love you too.
How can the world connect? How can the world connect with you?
Yes, lindsayvertner.com is where you can find me. It's where you can purchase First Class Life, the book. It's where you can sign up for First Class Life, the Anthology Volume 2, and purchase Volume 1. It's where you can find me on social media, Lindsay Vertner. Please do reach out. I love to hear your stories. I would love to help you begin walking in your purpose and just mastering your mindset so that you can do the damn thing.
Amen. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for being a part of this project. Thank you for your transparency and sharing your story. It's super important because I know that there have been some people that have had traumatic experiences, and reading your story and seeing who you are today will literally impact them in a positive way to say, hey, like I had a similar experience and I can be amazing and not allow what has happened to me to define where I am today or where I can be in the future. So I thank you for being part of this project. You already know that I think that you're amazing, awesome, phenomenal. And I'm super proud of everything that you have accomplished thus far. And I know that listen, that First Class Life, the Volume 2?
Yes.
Listen. If I could be a part of that, you know I would have signed up because I know it's going to be amazing. She is a game changer. From the moment that I met her, I was just like, I was in awe. And it takes a lot to impress me because, there are some people that fake it till they make it. No. She's the real thing. Like she does not play. Like, she's so amazing. And I am inspired by what she does and how she does it and how she executes. So I know that it's going to be an amazing project. Like, I just know that. So again, thank you for being here with us today. Thank you for coming back, and thank you for your yes on being on this project.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored to be on this project. It is very impactful.
Yes. So to my lovely audience that's tuning in, so we have a bunch of things happening, but we have a virtual book launch coming in October. So make sure you register for that and show up and sign up, because now you're gonna see these lovely authors in person, and I'm so excited because now I'm putting them on the spot live. Hello. So it's kind of like a virtual meet and greet, because you know how what's happening in the world. You know, you want to keep your social distancing. So, we're going to do it virtually this time around, and it's okay. So make sure you sign up for that. And then also, if you haven't gotten your copy of The Evolution Effect, please make sure you get your copy, and make sure you read Lindsay's chapter, The Evolution of Pain, because it is powerful. I read it and I was just like, oh my goodness, like, she is amazing. As I already said a million times, I'm going to say it again. She's amazing. And thank you for our lovely audience for tuning in again. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you for tuning in. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Make sure you leave a review. Thank you all, and we will see you next time. Bye, beautiful people.
Thank you for tuning in to Evolve. Stay fearless, unfiltered, and unapologetic. Until next time, special shout out to all of our amazing listeners. You are truly appreciated. Follow our host, Chanel Spencer, at Chanel Spencer Now on Instagram and Facebook. Songs I'm From the South by D21 from Black Mob Entertainment off the 720 God album. Find him on Instagram at only D21.
I'm from the South. I'm from the South. Straight out the South, where hitters rock gold teeth straight out your mouth. My niggas don't know peace, fuck is you saying though? Homies, he playing though. Know my old dudes bring more than a candle. Bring the heat to them, there they keep talking. Know that they would end. Little dogs barking, step across the line, be south.